Okay, I'm getting kind of bored with that. So, oh shoot, we're doing this again? Oh gosh, goodness gracious. Hello. Hello everyone. Thank you for being patient. I apologize for the technical difficulties. We have it fixed now. Oh, do I not have sound? There should be sound now, yeah? If I'm muted, that's on your end. Okay, good stuff. Hello to Dream and Baphomet and Alexis and Timerinia and Dank Catlord. And we had E. Lawrence up there, further up in the chat too. And hello also into the YouTube chat. Sweet Dream and Yuri Conquers All and Alexis. Thank you. Thank you all so much for being here. I am having like a heck of a time. So basically today I'm Batman. I am Batman in the sense that, you know, I have to like, what are you doing over there? You know, like, ugh. Even that much neck turning was too much. So that's kind of my existence today. Tried to do some yoga. Seems to have made things worse. So I'm just over here at age 28, unable to move my body very much. So that is what I mean when I say my neck is broken. Like the scene with the Bane knee drop. I was thinking more like, you know, the joke that like his armor is all like, he's like, because he can't turn his neck. My lower back has been hurting too, but not nearly so much as this. It's like on this side, and it's like all the way from the base of my skull down to where something connects in the middle of my back. So that's a good time. That's why stream today is going to be a little bit shorter. Where were the other drugs going? True. Hello, Analia. Joining from the phone because they're cooking. Say hello to all the horde. Okay, well, Analia from the YouTube chat, who is normally in the website chat, joining us from the kitchen, says hello to all the hordes in the website chat. Swear to me, true. So yeah, that's kind of like the main thing that I'm dealing with right now. It's funny, on the days that I am really like in a lot of physical pain tend to be the days that I am extremely productive. Although to be honest, yesterday I wasn't super productive, or yesterday I was not in a lot of pain, but I was very productive. I like ended up cleaning the kitchen a bunch at about 11 p.m. Not assisted by drugs. I was not on Adderall or anything. So my kitchen was a little bit cleaner today, and I started a roast. I have a roast, not like a comedy roast, because I'm fragile and I don't know if I could take one of those, but a beef roast with some other stuff in there, and that's going to be ready at about 9 p.m. my time. That's about 3 hours from now, at which point we're going to end stream. So everything that we need to talk about is going to have to fit within that, like, a little bit less than 3 hours now time frame. So yeah, I only had like one or two things that I had really thought about talking about today. I feel like I'm being really forgetful though, so we'll figure it out. Like, I feel like there was more stuff that went on since the last time I saw you all, but whatever, we'll get to it. The other thing that I did today in the kitchen was I have made brownies. And if it weren't for the fact that, like, immediately after stream, I'm going to eat, I think if I weren't going to do that, then immediately after stream, I would start kneading bread. But I'm not going to do that tonight. Not going to do it tonight. I'll do it tomorrow. So for today, I have a roast and I made brownies, which is like weird combination of smells, by the way. Like the roast is going and you also got brownies in the oven. Weird combo. But I'm sure it'll all be delicious. Yeah, we've already talked about Batman, so we're at a solid start. Solid start for a nice little chill stream where we're just trying to take it easy, you know? Ooh, homework. Yes. Is today Tuesday? Geez, today's Tuesday. You are correct. Today's Tuesday. Although I only have the one screenshot. The other message I cannot see. I cannot see the pink cat's message. I feel like it would be unfair if I just trusted, you know? The standard has been set for screenshots. I'll let it stand for the future if Pink Cat can get a screenshot between now and next week. I will reserve that, but can't just take your word for it, y'all. But we do have, so the homework, there's only like 9 of you here, so you are probably all of the hordes who know what's up. But if you didn't know, the homework is to send one of the videos from my channel to someone. Like, could be on Discord, could be on Reddit, like you could be tweeting, you know, make a post somewhere that is like, hey, watch this video, you know, because channel's been losing subscribers and we would love to have more people coming in rather than more people going out, obviously. So in order to incentivize that, if you send a little linky and you get a little screeny and you put it in the homework section of the Discord, I will give you a specific and lavish compliment. So Decoy Duck shared my... I edited together the segment about H3H3 Ethan Klein into a video, which I uploaded this week. And Decoy Duck shared that to the H3H3 subreddit. They did not receive it very well from what I saw when I went and looked at the thread, because I did go look at the thread. They did not love it, but that's okay. I appreciate Decoy Duck sharing that nevertheless. And, ooh, hold on, real quick. Where is Decoy Duck? Decoy Duck doesn't have any pronouns. Okay, that's fine. So Decoy Duck is... Oh my god, that was about to go a very weird direction. Let me reel that back in. You thought the other ones were weird. It was about to get even worse. Truthfully, that's where it needed to be shared. That's the real shit. Yeah, they just said, oh, it's been like 2 weeks, you know, shut up talking about this. So that's pretty much the whole reception that it received. Decoy Duck, frankly, is difficult to describe because their immensity is so overwhelming. They streak through the cosmos with a rainbow behind them and disseminate socialist literature throughout the galaxy. And what could be better than those things? Incomprehensible beauty, rainbows, and socialist literature. Thank you, Decoy Duck, for sharing that to the H3H3 subreddit. Should I have a subreddit? Is that like I feel like I'm way too small of a creator. Which I say that, but it's weird. Like I have like a smaller stream than, like, for example, like Demon Mama has like half as many subscribers as I do, and her streams are way more active than mine. So it's real weird determining who's like a bigger or smaller creator. But she has a subreddit, is why I brought her up. Anyway, I'm very excited to eat the roast later and to eat the brownies, because the brownies will be certainly delicious. Would not use. Reddit is horrifying and hurts my eyes. Yeah, that's the thing about it. The Reddit I would have to have some moderators that I really trusted, because I don't understand Reddit at all. Like, I go there and I try to use it, and I just don't know how. I really just don't know how to use it. I don't know if you're not supposed to be able to search for things, because that's usually what's happening is I'm like having a difficult time finding something specific. But when a Google search directs me to a Reddit page, I will go there and read the things. Otherwise, yeah, not a huge fan. Let's be real, it'll probably get infiltrated by transphobes and chuds super quick. Gonna need them mods. Exactly. I already, like, don't have enough mods for how these streams sometimes get to, like, 70 people. That's kind of a lot to not have, like, basically any mods. So I just need to willy-nilly promote some people, I guess, is kind of gonna end up being what happens. Provisionally, willy-nilly promote some people. It'll be fun, though. So I want to kind of get an idea of what we're going to be talking about for the rest of the stream. Since it's not a super long one, I do want to be kind of economical with our time, I guess. Moderating is hard, especially on Reddit. I bet it is. I find moderation quite difficult. In a very active setting, you know? It's just quite difficult to do, to keep up with and everything. Oh my gosh. Also, I've been watching a huge amount of Great British Baking Show still. I need some way to access, like, is there somewhere other than Netflix that I could watch it, you know? Because they only have, like, 4 or 5 of the series. Because one of the things that I wanted to talk about was J.K. Rowling. Even though I've kind of in the past been like, oh, I'm tired of her and I don't want to talk about her anymore. Like, at this point, it's just kind of fascinating watching her continue to spiral out. Hello, Mersh. Welcome in. I'm just doing a quick little search for a specific J.K. Rowling tweet, and I don't know, maybe we'll just kind of look through her Twitter page here in a minute, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what else we were going to talk about today. In terms of content, JK is the gift that keeps on giving. That's true. You know what's really interesting is I never know, like, Arielle's videos and content don't, like, end up in front of me, and people seem to not talk about her very much, so I'm always like, oh, I have to, like, actively think about her and then go to her video. Like, go, can you shut the fuck up? Why? Interesting. The widget on her front page on her channel, like, you can't pause or, well, you can. It was weird. It wasn't letting me pause or play when I was just clicking on it. I had to click the actual pause play button. Anyway. Sometimes it's fun checking in on what Arielle Scarcella is talking about. Oh no. Oh no. Arielle Scarcella. First of all, she had a video like a month ago that was like, it's called Trans Men Show Their Breasts on TikTok. So that's interesting. And then, but the thing that I was like, whoa about is that she has a video responding to Cat Black from 2 weeks ago called Lesbian Destroys Leftist Trans Woman's Ideology, which is fascinating. And then more recently, 2 days ago, she has a video called Trans Inmate Gets 2 Women Pregnant. Anyway, the only reason I was thinking about Arielle Scarcella is that Jack Coleman mentioned that J.K. Rowling is the gift that keeps on living and gift that keeps on giving. And I'm like, oh yeah, Arielle does dumb shit all the time, doesn't she? I don't mind turning her into a lol cow. You gotta be, like, careful with how often you do coverage of certain people, because people will get bored of it, you know? JK seems to be a bigot for all seasons. She just can't stop herself, it seems. It's true. So, yeah, I will update the little stream title. Like, yeah, so I just don't know. Yeah. I just don't know what this lesbian destroys leftist trans woman's ideology video is about. That makes me feel like I need to go to Cat Black and find out what she has posted recently. I have a tendency to like, I'll just binge someone's stuff for a while and then I won't watch them for like a year or two and then I'll come back and like binge a whole bunch more. So I'm just in one of my off phases with Cat Black. Haven't been watching much of her content recently. Let's see. So the video from Arielle was 2 weeks ago. The Cat Black 3 weeks ago posted a silly video about copy pastas. And then about a month ago posted a video about how allyship was a mistake. Quote, like maybe, quote, allyship was a mistake. Was that what Arielle was responding to? I don't know. It must be. I'm so confused. Ooh, hello, Christian V. Happy Lesbian Day of Visibility. I didn't know that was that. I didn't know that was that. That's really cool. Also, it's funny that that's the case because, like, you know, Arielle doesn't have a post on her YouTube channel about it. Yeah. It's funny, we're just looking at Arielle Scarcella's YouTube channel, or I am, and I'm like talking to you about it because I'm trying to decide if I want to like look at some of her videos later in this stream. Because it's fun to just talk about stupid bullshit while the world is falling apart. I haven't seen any new news about anti-trans laws, I don't think, but I'm sure that there is. I'm just not in the mood to talk about it today. I only have 3 hours. But yeah, it's just funny to me. Arielle doesn't have anything on her YouTube channel about like Lesbian Day of Visibility, you know, because she doesn't post positive things. She just is a hater and at this point. Anyway, let's talk first about J.K. Rowling. A little wee bit. The clickbait worked. Thank you, Blue. Oh, is Elon Musk worth a discussion? Oh, shoot. Well, I was just about to change the stream title. So, do I have really anything to say about Elon Musk? Not really. If I'm being totally honest. I don't have a lot to say about him. As far as I understand it, it's not a finalized deal. He does not actually own Twitter yet. I doubt that he actually will own Twitter. Because I think that it's up to the choice of like shareholders now or the board or some bullshit like that. So like, I don't think that it's like gonna actually like bear out. And if it does, I don't know, dude, maybe he'll pull an Uno reverse and like fix the algorithm suppressing everybody's links to their work, you know, and like start evenly applying or like accurately applying the TOS to conservatives. Because like I think this is true on Twitter and Facebook, that conservatives, they like the moderation people like have no choice but to let conservative politicians say fucked up shit that's against TOS, because if they enforced their TOS correctly, they would seem disproportionately biased against conservatives. And they can't, like, they're literally like the value of the company cannot afford for them to seem like they're unfriendly to conservatives. So yeah, like, I don't know, maybe you'll pull an Uno reverse and actually make the site better and start enforcing those things better. I don't know. Or it'll just get significantly worse. Who knows? Hello, Paul Hack. Welcome. Welcome in. I cannot turn my head in any direction today. I am like Batman in this suit where he's like, where are the bad guys? Where did the bad guys go? You know? Always fun. Anyway, we're gonna switch scenes now and look at... Hello, it's my chat. Hello, Razcal. Welcome, welcome. Oh, the board said yes as far as I know. Shit. Decoy Duck, to post your pronouns you would just go into the profile section or the account section of the website, which if you're on the desktop, it would be like, well, I think in your desktop or mobile, it's in the top right corner of the screen where you go to the account, or luxander.net/profile, I think will also get you there. There's a little drop down menu. You select your pronouns and then you hit the green save button, and then that's done. It's unfortunate that, oh my gosh, the board said yes to him basically buying Twitter. Watch to the beginning. Arielle seems to claim Kat got all her clout from criticizing Arielle. That'll be interesting to see. Decoy Duck, did they end up commenting any more on that post? Because all I saw on that post was one comment with like 9 upvotes that said like, dude, this happened 2 weeks ago, leave it alone. Anyway, this is we're looking at this now. Oh yeah, no, I was gonna change the stream title. Mother of God, there are so many things. Okay, we changed the title. Now we're talking about J.K. Rowling, and everybody knows it. You could not say that you didn't know that that's what we were talking about. Nice, you got pronouns now. Yeah, apparently 2 weeks ago is like beyond the scope of what you're permitted to speak about. Like, yeah, dude, like I talked about it about a week after. And then I uploaded the video because the stream happened, whatever. I'm glad, Decoy Duck, that you enjoyed. Morphing Faces from the YouTube chat. Thank you for saying sorry about my body pain, but here's what's fucked up. I didn't do anything. I woke up like this. Hello, Gayfesh. Welcome in. My day, actually, I've been very productive today. I have a roast on. I made brownies that are cooling right now. But I woke up this morning with my neck and back in an amount of pain, and I tried to like stretch it, and it just made it worse. And now I'm unable to turn my neck. So that's fun. Anyway, now we're going to talk about J.K. Rowling. So obviously, she has been increasingly absurd for a while. But today or yesterday, I believe it was, directly contradicting Black lesbian women or something like that. So I wanted to find out what was actually being said. Yeah, it's a great time. It's so good. I love it. Couldn't be happier. Why does it always do that? So weird. So funky. Okay, interesting. I'm gonna just skip right past that. What was it? Okay, so first of all, just more blatant transphobia. We'll get to that in a minute. I think this is where it starts. Here's where this starts. Lesbian Visibility Week starts today in the UK. A good moment to salute the... Hold on, actually. How does this work? I wonder if I can...
Does this work? What does this sound like? Lesbian Visibility Week starts today in the UK. A good moment to salute the resilience and courage of my inspirational friend. Hashtag I stand with Allison Bailey.
Is that really upsetting? Usually when I'm listening to the voice pitching and stuff, it's pretty upsetting. I have a button on my program thing over here. It says gender. I have a dial that says gender. So I can do that. I can make it like this, and then also I can go the other direction and make it like this.
So that is fun.
That's fun thing that I can do. It's a good time. Anyway, this says Allison Bailey marches for LGBT rights in San Francisco in 1991. Who the fuck is that? That is something that I have to find. Who is Allison Bailey? Is it true that she was for LGBT rights and it's not like, and not for like, if Stonewall doesn't represent a woman like Allison Bailey, then who is it for? Because she didn't swallow the charity's gender identity dogma, they wanted her gone, but she is everything they were meant to support. From the Telegraph. It cannot have been easy to be a black woman of Jamaican heritage in the late 1980s, living in Oxford and realizing you were a lesbian. It must have been desperately lonely. Section 28 left gay teenagers with little support. Blah, 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 blah. What did she... So Stonewall denounced her. Stonewall is an organization in the UK. She believes that biological sex is immutable, incorrect, and that conflating sex with the made-up notion of gender identity will leave women with no legally enforceable boundaries against men. Well, so far it hasn't been a fucking problem, so I don't know why they think it is now. She does not think womanhood is just a feeling in one's head. What... I wonder how these people would feel about having their brains excised. Like, do you think that you can live without it? Do you think that anything about who you are... How do these women feel about being lobotomized? I would like to know. Yeah, so basically I guess this is... I would like to see some new quote... some not new quotes. I would just like to see some quotes. Because this is just representing Allison Bailey's ideas, but like there's no quotes that might directly indicate what her beliefs are. Anyway, apparently, reportedly, black lesbian saying some anti-trans shit. Allegedly, reportedly. LGB, yeah, let's go blues. We could hope. Right, yeah, all trans lesbians just don't count. Well, they're not women, so they can't be lesbians. That's how the logic works. I wonder if I can find any actual... Oh, she's suing Stonewall, I guess. Allison Bailey is suing Stonewall for these reasons. Anyway, continuing to look at this person's Twitter, this lovely woman. So people in response to that got pretty upset. You know, let's not delve too far into the responses, but people were upset. And then she tweeted, apparently it stirs up hate to post pictures of black lesbians marching for their rights. So here's a picture of Alex Drummond, white, bearded, Stonewall approved lesbian, plus an interview. Hashtag I stand with Allison Bailey. Linda Riley, who created the hashtag, or she created Lesbian Visibility Week, I guess. She says, I certainly did not create hashtag Lesbian Visibility Week so that people like J.K. Rowling could use it as a vehicle to stir up more hate within our community. This is a perfect example of hashtag how not to be an ally. And then hashtag I stand with Stonewall, L with the T. What is this article? A BuzzFeed article. This trans woman kept her beard and couldn't be happier. Alex Drummond is a 51-year-old psychotherapist and photographer from Cardiff. And so she's just like a woman who just didn't get rid of her beard. Questioning, like, the entire reason for calling this woman's womanhood into question is that she's bearded, right? This is... I'm just like gonna get really tired of pointing this out because I feel like I've pointed it out a lot lately, but it's against women who have PCOS. Like, you are reinforcing stigma against cisgender women. Zesty Walrus, yeah, the texture of the hair would probably change and it might thin somewhat, but it usually requires like laser hormone, or not laser hormone, Jesus. You can tell out of it today. It requires laser therapy or electrolysis therapy, like shooting burning lasers at your face to kill the hair at the follicle. Yeah, laser hormones, true. So yeah, the entire, like, aside from like the fact that this woman is trans, the entire reason for calling her womanhood into question, like, let's be entirely clear here. Posting a picture of a woman who looks like this, and like in this context, as this person who's been talking about this all the time, like, these TERFs, smaller TERF accounts do this too, by the way. They post these pictures, and this is basically like the classic, the punchline of the joke is that they're trans. Like she's just like, ha, you think this is a lesbian, a woman with with facial hair, you know, like, it's pretty fucked up. And it's like, that's the entire thing, is like, oh, well, oh, so your fucking shit is so stupid. Here's, you know, an example of like just literally the existence of a trans woman who doesn't like conform to stereotypical. Oh, it's so hypocritical. They're like, you know, we're perfect and amazing, even though like, and we're gonna like criticize you for reinforcing sex stereotypes. That's not what a woman is. A woman isn't these clothes. A woman isn't fingernail polish. A woman isn't, you know, dainty and small. Like, oh my God. But then they turn around and they're like, also a woman is not allowed to have facial hair though. Like, that it disqualifies you from the category. It's so fucking stupid. Yes, bearded ladies used to be a staple of circus shows. That trans woman has been on an autogynephilia documentary. I watched some of it since once before I came out. Interesting. I wonder if she was like tricked into it or what. Curiously, if you apply the same methodologies that Blanchard uses to detect autogynephilia in trans women, if you use those same methodologies on cisgender women, they're actually, like, by percentage, like, they are more autogynephilic than trans women. So that's pretty silly. Anyway, but I was just gonna say, like, I wonder if she got like tricked into it or something. Because I don't know why you would do that unless you were just like tricked into it or whatever. Oh, and then they go joking about this, like, so this person is an actual lesbian, Linda Riley, who created the Lesbian Visibility Week, and then these people are like mocking her, going like continuing to like mock the idea. Why did I think lesbians were females of that ilk? How did I go wrong in not understanding they were actually men? As a beloved wordsmith, please explain. Excellent question, Emma. Defining lesbians as same-sex attracted women excludes and oppresses the most marginalized of all groups, i.e. people with penises and beards who want to shag women. And before you say, but aren't they straight men? They're wearing eyeliner, bigot. So yeah, she's just basically like, first of all, assuming her genitals. Pretty gross thing to do. That is transphobic. And like, yeah, just being like, because you have a penis, I assume you have a penis, and because you have facial hair, and again, something that cis women are fully capable of growing, like, you're not able to be a woman. And also actual lesbians who agree that you are a lesbian are like lying or something. I don't know. If you believe in freedom of speech and or think lesbians' careers shouldn't be imperiled by a lobby group whose CEO says same-sex attraction is akin to sexual racism, you might fancy helping Allison out. Yeah, so I'm just so curious, like, what the fuck happened? I'm suing Stonewall. I mean, I'm curious what this is. I'm suing Stonewall Equality Limited to stop them policing free speech. I am a barrister. What the fuck is a barrister? God damn it. Fucking British people and your weird job titles. I helped set up a new organization for LGBT to provide an alternative. So she helped establish the LGBT Alliance, which is a hate group, to provide an alternative to Stonewall. In retaliation, Stonewall had me investigated by my chambers in an attempt to cost me my livelihood. What were they having her investigated for, I guess, is the question. So, like, she thinks it's erroneous. I don't know. That's so curious. I don't know what the fuck a barrister is. A lawyer. Okay. There are some trans women who actually identify as AGP and think it's real. Oh, yeah, no, there are trans women who believe all kinds of crazy shit. Okay, so she's a lawyer who helped the LGBT Alliance set themselves up as a nonprofit or whatever, probably, as an alternative to Stonewall. And then Stonewall had her investigated, presumably by the, like, the ethical association that, you know, in the United States, probably it's like the bar association, investigated by my chambers. Interesting. I wonder what their justification was for that. In any case, I'm done reading the details of it. I think it's most notable. So if you have a beard, you're automatically a man. That's an awful weird way of defining things. Or is it only if you have a beard and a dick? Breaking news, children's author says beardless men aren't men. Last time I checked, you weren't a lesbian, so shut the fuck up. This person is making some good points. Oh, this is a good tweet too. Whatever happened to I respect every trans person's right to live any way that feels authentic and comfortable to them. Targeting somebody who identifies as a trans woman on the basis they choose to maintain facial hair seems somewhat the antipathy of that. True. Yeah, she's been mask off for a while, but it has gotten worse. She just continues to get worse. More and more and more explicit about being a terrible person. Good Lord. It really is, like, I watched Callan Conrad's videos where they go into, like, oh, they infiltrated some of these TERF groups on Facebook and stuff. It really is, like, weirdly culty. It truly is. That's what Callan's videos are about. It's like, oh, the gender criticals are basically a cult, you know? It's very strange how obsessed she is. Like, I really do wonder how this got misplaced this way. She has, like, she's like, oh, I was raped by a man once upon a time, and now it's an issue. Was she actually raped by a trans woman? Was she raped by a man who pretended to be a woman? That seems like in order to get access to her. It seems really weird. Like, her book, under the pen name Robert Galbraith, which is the guy who invented gay conversion therapy, which is torture, she wrote a book where her main antagonist dressed up as a woman and, like, deceived drunk women in order to kill and rape them, you know? I guess her ex-husband was the one who assaulted her. I don't actually know. There's never any details about it. She just says, like, I suffered an assault some number of years ago and now I'm jumpy and have trauma. Like, hey, here's an idea, Joanne. Why don't you just use your enormous amount of wealth to get a therapist and work through your trauma? It's not fun. I'll be the first to tell you. Actively working on your trauma, like having to actively relive the event, even in the therapeutic environment, is a huge pain in the ass. It's exhausting, and it'll make your symptoms worse for a short period of time before they start to get better. It's a slog, and it requires you to do a lot of work outside of the therapeutic session as well. But You are losing it, honey. Isn't her pen name the same as... Yeah. It's... Yeah, Robert Galbraith, the guy who invented conversion therapy, is her pen name. True, billionaires will devote their entire lives to attack a minority group before getting therapy. Truly. It's wild that they just think that they're... Robert Galbraith Heath is the name of the guy who developed it. I see. Galbraith is the middle name. Sneaky. Sneaky that. She is a wild card. You know, it's also wild. Like, I just don't personally feel the need to comment on like things that happen in communities that have nothing to do with me. Like, she is a heterosexual woman who is she's like pretending that her rights as a woman are under impact by an issue that is happening within the queer community, which she is not part of and is not affected by. Seems like she hates lesbians too. Well, she hates any lesbian who doesn't agree with her. Like, any lesbian who doesn't agree with her ideology is not a real lesbian, basically. It seems like she just blindly hates anyone who is not the stereotypical cis woman. She hates cis men, non-binary, intersex, and anyone else that does not fit into her very narrow personal view of what constitutes a woman. I don't think that's totally unfair, TBH. Yeah, she is not a part of, not affected by, and explicitly unwelcome in the queer community. I don't even know what she would have to do to get to a point where I was willing to be like, yeah, no, she's okay. She would have to do quite a lot. She'd have to put a lot of money into some serious reforms, you know? Yeah, we do know how she feels about trans men, Zesty Walrus. Oh, 100% we know how she feels about trans men. Let me just pull that up for you, sweetie. Oh gosh, Joanne. No. J.K. Rowling. Oh, essay? Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can find this real quick by doing a quick skim. She's got a long manifesto that she wrote a couple of years ago. Oh my god. Okay. This, I don't know if she even calls them trans men in this. Because she definitely, like, I've seen other people talk about this, and she definitely goes on a part about AFAB people. Like, I think part of her issue is that, the number of people who are assigned female at birth who identify as trans has recently skyrocketed. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. It's a long post. It's quite a long post. Ah, yes. Here we go. Real quick. The fourth, she's explaining why she cares about this. The fourth is where things start to get truly personal. I'm concerned about the huge explosion in young women wishing to transition, and also about the increasing numbers who seem to be detransitioning, returning to their original sex, because they regret taking steps that have in some cases altered their bodies irrevocably and taken away their fertility. I don't know a single fucking person who was assigned female at birth, who went on T and came off of it and wasn't able to conceive, who didn't already have fertility issues, or who statistically didn't already fit into like a reasonable number of like infertile people, you know, like the number, like it's the, oh my God, the gestative reproductive system in humans is like upsettingly tenacious. Some say they decided to transition after realizing they were same-sex attracted, and that transitioning was partly driven by homophobia, either in society or their families. I need the gif of Harry, H-bomber guy, like smashing the citation needed button. Holy fuck. Most people probably aren't aware, I certainly wasn't until I started researching this issue properly, that 10 years ago, the majority of people wanting to transition to the opposite sex were male. That ratio has now reversed. There's an increase in girls being referred for transitioning treatment, and autistic people are often also trans, or trans people are often autistic, whatever, which way you want to put it. Congratulations on discovering that. So the way that she views trans men is basically in line with the whole irreversible damage book, and like it's very infantilizing. To like, long story short, and it's interesting because what it comes down to is like very sexist on both ends. Their beliefs about trans women are that they're predatory and they can't like be around children, you know, and that's just like how they think about men, is how they apply those beliefs to trans women. And then versus like trans men have been seduced by the transgender agenda, and they don't know what they're doing, and they often regret their choices because their pretty little brains aren't developed enough to make those kind of choices, which is fundamentally an extremely misogynistic belief. Yeah, it's the lost lesbian sisters kind of thing. Yeah. It's tricky. I don't think I've known a single one of them I don't think I've ever seen one of them respond to the presentation of the existence of transgender gay men. Like, I know a good number of them. Gay trans men exist. But, you know, whatever. It's part of being in a cult is that any opposing information is just, it's just gonna go straight through, straight over. It's true. Yeah, back in the day when the majority of trans people in the public eye were assigned male, they used it as evidence that being trans was a type of male perversion. Yeah, and the second that figure seems to flip, suddenly it's a social contagion. Yeah, so the transness itself is either, you know, perverted, masculine, brainwashing, control, domination, or it's, oh, they could just, they're stupid and they can't help it, you know? They're so easily influenced. Fascinating. Imagine being that brainwashed. Thank you for your very complimentary comments, Green5, in the YouTube chat. I appreciate that. Yeah, be good now. There is no LGB without the T. It's really weird to see other queer people do this to trans people, what society has historically done to them. True. I've heard them say that gay trans men are women who fetishize gay men. What's horrible about that is that is kind of how it feels when you're young. You're like, I am a girl, but I really like gay boys, and like I want to kiss them, and I wish that they wanted to kiss me, and it's weird, and it's really hurtful. And then you realize what's going on, and you're like, oh, I mean, that makes more sense. Listen, okay, do you all remember... Oh God, how long would that have been? I'm currently 28. That would have been when I was like, I want to say 12 or 13. So about 15 years ago, 15, 16 years ago, YouTube. You remember YouTube like 15 years ago? I do. And the main reason that I remember that is because I remember looking up, like, there was this one video in particular that ended up on my radar, which was like 2 emo guys making out on a bed. Let's get some shoes. Oh my God, shoes. True. But yeah, like it's a weird thing to do as like a 13-year-old presumably girl. Like, wow, this is really hot. Like 2 emo guys making out together. Why did it still take me a couple years to figure that shit out? Because there wasn't information about it. So like, yeah, because unless you're asexual, my name is spelled like it's being pronounced by the shoes character. That's good stuff. That's good stuff, Gayfesh. Someone mentioned it in the YouTube chat. Because of the way she said betch. Yeah, okay. I love that. But yeah, because most people have a sexual part of their being, yes, discovering your gender can be partially like sexual. Like sex happens in private. So it's a place where you can dress in a way that you know, might not be able to do in public. You know, you do it with a person who you trust. It's one of the most obvious things, in my opinion. Like, oh, what arrangement do I wish that I had in order, and like, how do I wish I could interact with those arrangements, has a big component to do with like my gender and my gender expression and stuff. AMVs with Malchik gay, true. Yeah, Kelly's a classic. Very briefly, my dearies, if you have not hit like on the stream, please do that. Always appreciated. This one is seemingly, it's going to be like one of our little slower nights, which is fine. Because again, I'm only going to be here until 9, which is like 2 hours from now. And then I'm going to get some food. Yes, I remember the old internet. Is that who that is? Liam Kyle Sullivan, who did the shoes? They are so funny. I am ready to move on. I would like to look at Arielle Scarcella's channel, because basically any time that I don't know what I'm going to do from now on, I'm going to just pick a lol cow to make fun of. I remember watching Shoes when I was 10 and then feeling guilty because they said the word fuck in it and I wasn't allowed to say that word. Okay. I would like... How do I vote? How do we do vote? $5 from Alexis. 50%. I don't know what the 50% is about, but I need to update this thingy bobber. Oh, that's why you said 50%. That makes sense now. Now that I'm looking at the amount that I'm having to update. 50%. There will be boobies. I actually thought about deleting that today, but we'll let it go. At least for today. Maybe we'll let it go until the end of the month. So one more stream after today. Actually, wait. Are we going to stream on Saturday? We might stream on Saturday. I'm not sure. My mom legit got angry at me for watching Shoes because of the I've already been to heaven line. She was a very humorless Christian. Unforge. Well, that's good. I'm glad that she has more of a sense of humor now. No, shush. I think later this week on Thursday, we'll look at the debate with Vosh versus Dr. Deborah So. That could be fun. Oh gosh, hold on. so excited about those brownies. Like, holy shit. I'm very excited about the brownies. Hey, Gayfesh, will you help me? I want to make a vote. How do I actually put the options for the vote? Do I just do /vote and then like 1 and then some text and then 2 and then some text and then it'll pop up the like, I don't actually know how this website works. I started that debate, but I need constant drama and blood sports, and that was absent in that debate. Oh, because he like went on her podcast, so he was like not as blood sports. Oh, is it not going to be fun? I'm going to see if this works. Like, I'm going to see if I can understand. I did it. I did it. I made a vote. I know how to vote. I can make votes. You can vote now over which Arielle video we're going to look at first. Or maybe which Arielle video we're going to look at, and then I'm going to get too angry to continue. Okay. I see how it is. It took Vosh like 2 years to learn how to make votes on his own chat. Well, thank you, Gayfesh. I really appreciate that. You explained it in a way that made a lot of sense. The default time might be a little bit too short. I saw boobies, so I voted for boobies. I think that's pretty much how it went. Stop it. Come back. Hey, 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 hey. Thank you. Goodness gracious. Yeah, so the video is like trans men show their parentheses female breasts on TikTok. So that's the video that you all have voted for. Democracy. I know. Democracy. So good. Look at us. Look at us and all we've accomplished. All right. I tried to vote twice, but I was thwarted. True. See, yeah, same energy as female presenting nipples. Especially with like the person in this thumbnail has like their beard, and it's like, yeah, like what do you mean female breasts with the person having a beard like that, you know? Nonsensical. No voter fraud, Alexis. Not permitted. Although I don't actually know if there's anything stopping any of you from doing your own votes, so you could literally just host the same vote again. And, usurp the initial vote. Can we just free the nipple already, OML? I'm sure that a lot of these trans men do wish that they could free the nipple. It's true. And by that I mean have them removed. So, let's see what this is about. We'll try to turn on captions if we can. Not gonna lie, I wish I had male presenting nipples. Oh my gosh. I am just so burpy today. Okay. Oh, you can't do a vote. Ha ha ha. Okay. Maybe it's only moderators.
Has made me feel ashamed to do this or this. Our bodies are not anything to be ashamed of.
Okay, I was just trying to get the audio calibrated there. Baphomet. Yeah. A lot of people are going without nipple grafts nowadays. You can still get the like tattooing. You can still get tattooing done later. Some people get like little heart-shaped nipples, you know? It makes the surgery less complicated, true. Also, sometimes the nipples are just not covered by your insurance, so you might be able to get like all the rest of the surgery covered. But that part you would actually have to pay out of pocket for. So anyway, this looks like a video that is here is if this is going to be a segment on the channel, I have to actually like back out a little bit. Hold on. Arielle Scarcella, as per usual, on her bullshit, making videos about trans people and generally like commenting on things that she doesn't know a lot about. Oh, and also probably going to be a little bit of body shaming involved as well, because a little while ago, actually very shortly after the last time we talked about her, she posted a video called "Whoa, Trans Men Showed Their parentheses female breasts on TikTok." And I am not going to be totally surprised if it ends up being the same kind of general inanity that we are accustomed to getting from Arielle Scarcella. But this is what you all voted for, so this is what we're going to talk about. Let me get all moved over. Okay. Scooch back to the beginning. Good Lord, stop. What is wrong with you, girl? Thank you. Okay.
The fact that media has made me feel ashamed to do this or this. Our bodies are not anything to be ashamed of.
You know, I actually...
Oh my God, I am so sorry. She is so loud. Not well-balanced audio. My mistake. So the initial part of the video is about... It's just a clip from a TikTok person saying like, you know, don't, like, you shouldn't shame people's bodies. You know, as a man, my body shouldn't be shamed or whatever, you know. Hello, Cotton D-Pad and Ela Devine. Oh, thank you for reminding me just by your presence that I need to change the title. It would be wild if this was how I find out she used my video. True. True. Okay. Was the censorship in the original TikTok? Probably not. I imagine that the censorship was not in the original TikTok. So let's see what she says about this. Oh, hold on. One more adjustment. There we go.
Agree with this person, which is funny. It's not the most difficult thing in the world for me to admit that I sometimes agree with people on the other side. I mean, I am kind of in the middle, but of course the video doesn't end there. Don't cut me off yet. Too soon? Yeah.
What, is that a joke about trans people cutting off their body parts? Is that what that's supposed to be a joke about? Like, wow, what a fucking asshole.
So, welcome back to your favorite non-leftist lesbians YouTube channel. That would be me. If you are new, make sure you click that subscribe button down below, because I'm sure you've heard from your woke friends or from the woke people that I'm a terrible person. But honestly, if you watch my videos like fully all the way through, I'm sure you'll agree with me on more things than not. I wanted to talk about this specific trend for quite a while now, but I wasn't sure how to go about it. And that is trans men going on TikTok and YouTube and being completely shirtless without having top surgery. And yeah, these videos, you can go search them, they're still up. The only reason we blurred these trans men's chests was because, not because it makes me uncomfortable, obviously it's like whatever, it's not my body, I don't care, but because there is a very slight possibility that this person might wind up detransitioning and be fully...
Oh, that's a really rude reason. She's like, oh, they might regret that they identified as trans during that, and they wouldn't want their female breasts all over the internet. As opposed, why don't you just be like less of a garbage person and say, I'm making a video to put on YouTube, and if I don't censor these chests, it's very likely that I'm going to get nuked for nudity. Like, that's a very reasonable thing to say. It's a much less rude thing to say. Oh my god. Yeah, they posted their chest. Well, the thing is, Zesty Walrus, like, she's saying, like, if they detransition and take the content down later, I don't want the content to be on my channel. Yeah, as usual, Arielle just looking out for the sissies.
Regretful of showing their bare chest online. And I also don't know if these people are over 18 or not. I'm assuming they are because they have YouTube and TikTok accounts, right?
That's a good reason. That's a really good reason.
But you don't know.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people only hyping up skinny trans people.
Fair.
And I'm really sick of the fact that media has made me feel ashamed to do this or this. Our bodies are not anything to be ashamed of, whether you've transitioned or not. And the fact that people have told you that you have to hide your chest because you haven't gotten it cut off yet is bullshit.
So I actually agree with him.
True. As a tran who has no intention of getting top surgery, no intention, fully no intention. I am not like, oh, I'm still deciding, or oh, it's expensive, so I don't know, maybe someday. No, not getting it. Don't want it. Also, not really binding anymore. So, yeah. Razcal, I think ultimately, like, she at least had one good actual reason for not showing their chests, you know? I always wonder how algorithms would deal with my nipless chest. I don't think that they flag the same way if you don't have the nips, but I don't actually know. I bet it would depend more on, like, oh, do you have, like, certain shadow and contouring? Like, I bet that you could take a literally cis male chest and, like, contour it enough with makeup and stuff to make it look like breasts. You could see that being a possibility. Anyhow, it says 22 in his TikTok bio, also explicitly he, him, and not they, them. So she could have just done the absolute bare minimum and checked. But the thing is that I don't think that this is a, excuse me, God, I keep fucking burping. This is just a personal quarrel that I have. I think it's really annoying when a creator is like alluding, and it's possible that I've done this before, so if I'm a hypocrite, I'll take that. I think it's annoying when they allude to a general concept and then later they're like while they're recording the video, they're like, oh, I'm sure I'll find an example and put it in here in the post editing, you know, in the post process. I think it's kind of obnoxious. So she probably is not aware of any of the actual content of the TikToks that she's going to be posting. She's just like, so when she's recording the video, she's just like, I will find some random trans men to put in here and then I'll comment on it briefly, like broadly. Yeah. So she would have seen it if it wasn't for the fact that she just found that after she recorded this when she was editing it. Little peek behind the curtain about how the process works.
Him on some of his stances, right? This is where me being a libertarian or a moderate comes into play. I can see both sides of this argument, right? Let me do what I want with my body. I want to show it off. Let me show it off. What I do worry about, though, is
oh no.
is if this becomes a slippery slope like a ton of other issues in the trans or LGBT community as of late. I would worry about people that are underage doing this. You have to remember, and
what are you talking about? Oh, people, wait. So she's saying she's concerned about people who are underage showing their chests. Like, you know, because chests are inherently sexual if you have a certain amount more breast tissue than someone else. Actually, it probably doesn't really have much to do with how much breast tissue you have according to her belief system. It's literally just whether you were also born with a vagina. there is like some part of me that thinks there might have some merit to the idea, only because I think that people are horrible and skeevy. And like maybe just like if we had a blanket like concerns that people who are underage should keep their chests off the internet. Yeah, because it's not like predation against young men and like teenage boys and even younger don't also happen, and that like their bodies being exposed in public could be a potential problem. It's weird though how we portray that, like, oh, what girls do could be inviting predation, but you know, little boys, you know, age 6 to 10, who are really commonly targeted for sexual exploitation, you know, are shirtless at the public pool and using the men's restroom without supervision and shit, you know, like there's just a lot less concern about that though. Yeah, no, agreed, Alexis. Like, it's paternalistic to say no one who's underage should put their chest on the internet, but it's yeah, like I'm honestly like more concerned about protecting them from pedophilia than their ability to like express themselves by showing off their bodies, you know. It's a fine line to walk there, I think.
And this is something that I've talked about in quite a few videos before. The number of people that are aged 13 to 17 that are born female are the most common demographic for people that believe they're transgender, that have dysphoria, that have gender dysphoria, but actually don't, and it winds up...
I don't think that's true. I don't think she has any actual information to back that up. It's so frustrating. She says so many wrong things. I have to pause so frequently. That's why why reacting to her videos takes so long. Oh my gosh.
Being something else like body dysmorphia or anxiety or depression or trauma, sexual induced...
I don't think that she has any numbers on that. Like, to be able to say that the people who identify as trans and aren't the most frequently are 13 to 17 girls who have a separate issue. Like, I just don't think that there's any actual studies on that. Yeah, Razkal, isn't it kind of victim shamey though? Adults shouldn't be creeps regardless of how much chest a kid shows. IDK, I get where you're coming from, but I still kind of hate it. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's like right and proper or anything, but like, you know, when my little sister was like 12 and posted and like sent me the link to her Christmas list, I still texted my dad and told him, delete that lowly shit off of her Christmas list. Our grandma is gonna buy her that and not know that this is some like creepy pedophile shit. Like, she can not have a Lolita dress, you know, as much as she just thinks it's cute anime shit, like wildly uncool. Like, you know, she just like had added something to the list and, you know, it's not like a huge deal or anything, but I was just like, that's my personal prerogative, is like, yes, as adults, unfortunately, like policing what children put online is part of the job of protecting them. Yeah, true. She took this random adult trans person's video off TikTok and is now mad because minors might do that. Such a straw man.
Trauma. They are, in fact, the largest demographic of people who believe that they're transgender.
Girl, you better put the citation for that in every single video description every single time you say it. But no, she has a link to her fucking OnlyFans and not this incredibly inflammatory false statistic.
And then realize they're not. So what if they are allowed to go on TikTok or YouTube and they're underage and then realize that, oh shit, like, I'm actually not trans, I'm a woman, and now I showed my bare chest for the entire world to see and deeply regret it. I also do...
I mean, also that shouldn't be a big deal. Like, like, not that they're being underage part, but like, I don't, you know, I just think that we should not stigmatize naked bodies, you know? Like, I just don't think that should be a big deal.
You agree with him that our bodies are definitely not something that we should be ashamed of? Hello? Literally, I have an OnlyFans account. And it's also one of the reoccurring messages I have posted in my videos since like day one. There are in fact some things that these kids get right.
This is me. This is my body.
She just said that these kids get right, and this is like an adult who's 22 years old. It's like, oh, that shit pisses me off. Yeah, if we go ahead and assume for a second that it is true, that it is true. Oh my god, I don't know what you're referring to specifically. What are the numbers? Let's say it's true. Yeah. If it's true that trans boys desist more than trans girls, or like cis women desist more, whatever, however you would say it. Let's say it's true, but the difference between trans girls that detransition and trans boys is like 0.02%. It could be a fact and still not matter. Like, but the thing is that I believe that what she's citing to in that instance, she's not saying 80% of them desist, but I think that's what she's citing to. They like 80% of these kids who come into these gender identity clinics don't even actually identify as trans. And the actual reason that that number is so high, it's because like you bring your questioning child in to be assessed, and only like 20% of the total questioning children are moved forward to the next part of the care process, which means that the process of discriminating out gender nonconforming kids from actually trans kids is working as intended. Desist? What? True. Responding to Arielle Scarcella. You know how it is. Wonder what her position is on Free the Nipple movement. True.
Deal with it. Because I'm sick of everyone trying to shame us for looking like this.
Body shame is never a good look for anybody. I've also spoken about this before, but body shaming or fat shaming, I guess in this case it would be chest shaming, is not cute. It's not nice. But honestly, I don't think
that is not the kind of statement that you should follow up with a but. Arielle, oh God. Good Lord, have mercy on all of our souls.
I think that the majority of people, at least in the United States, would give two shits about the supposed trans man or biological woman showing off their chest regardless of their surgery status.
Yo, that is so not true. Tell me that you've never known a breastfeeding parent without telling me that you've never known a breastfeeding parent. How insulated do you have to be to not know that like women out there trying to breastfeed their children get told to cover up and get told to go to the bathroom and hide their breasts? Or like I saw one recently that was like, I was on a road trip and I was in my car in front of the gas station and I was feeding the baby in my car, and someone in the car next, like over, was like, can you please stop? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Rain Raven, the desist, like it's spelled D-E-S-I-S-T. It's a word that just means like to stop doing something, like to, like it's the opposite of persist. So like instead of persisting, they desist. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, definitely like women and trans men and anybody with like feminine seeming breasts is not like permitted to just be like that in public without backlash. She lives in a fantasy world. Well, she lives in California, so that makes sense.
And I asked you guys this on Twitter. Here's what you said. Most of you seem to agree with me. Quick important note here. Some of you told me that you picked the not cool option because you wanted to make sure that I knew that you think it should be okay for everybody to go topless if they wanted to, not just trans men, not just people that identify as men, people that are male. And you have to remember that in some places in the States and in the world.
I'm still here. The camera normally comes back before now, and it's just not. And I'm really like gonna throw it out the fucking window, actually. Excuse me. Excuse you. Hi. Hello. technology just stops working for no fucking reason. I have no patience for this shit right now.
It is true. Here's what you said. Most of you seem to agree with me. Quick important note here. Some of you told me that you picked the not cool option because you wanted to make sure that I knew that you think it should be okay for everybody to go topless if they wanted to, not just trans men, not just people that identify as men, people that are male. And you have to remember that in some places in the States and in the world,
Wait, what did she just say?
think it should be okay for everybody to go topless if they wanted to, not just trans men, not just people that identify as men, people that are male. And you have to remember that in some places in the States and in the world, it is legal for both men and women, males and females, to go topless. I mean, you see this happening all the time in New York City during the Halloween parade, during the Pride parade, in Spain on the beaches and stuff like that, and nobody bats an eye.
So in America, the two instances that she cited in America are like Halloween, which is a time that you are kind of permitted to transgress social norms, and Pride, another instance in which the social norms are quite different. And then in Spain, where they don't have a puritanical like belief system about the human body, like these are just examples that really don't serve to reinforce her point because they're exceptional examples. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. There's no audio on this one. Oh, I'm guessing there was music on this one, so there's no audio. But it says trans men should not have to hide their chests. Chests are not sexual. And they're dancing.
One great question that's arising from this all is, are chests inherently sexual? My answer is no, which is, I guess, why I personally don't think that this is a huge deal. And interestingly enough, YouTube and TikTok has already been promoting this type, or at least not banning and allowing this type of content for the better part of the last like 4 or 5 years. And ex-friends of mine,
I'm curious how much that actually is true. Like, I think that there's a difference between letting the content be up and letting the content like be promoted and monetized, you know, like how much is that actually going to show up in the algorithm if you're not selecting for it specifically, like if you're not looking for it specifically? I'm not sure.
who is a famous YouTuber, had a video put out about like 3 or 4 trans guys showing off their chests, embracing their bodies, and one of them also did not have top surgery yet, so he had a female chest. Even though I'm not friends with this person anymore, I do want to say that I think the video and the point that he made was quite brilliant, because it basically called out YouTube, right? It was a like, what are you gonna do, YouTube? Are you gonna allow this content to exist and have it be controversial? Or
I wonder who she was talking about. Like a trans man that she used to be friends with who hadn't had top surgery yet.
are you gonna delete it and be called transphobic? YouTube opted to leave it up. The video's still up. And let me be very clear here. I don't think that people, regardless of their gender, regardless of their sex, showing off their chest is a bad thing. What is very different to me is people walking around with their genitals hanging out. Personally, not a fan of that.
This is completely not something that anybody brought up. Like, why would you say that? Why, Arielle, are you okay? Do we need to send someone? We need to send someone to check on her. This was actually like 2 months ago, so who knows what has happened to her in the meantime. Did she have a stroke at some point? Because why would you say that? Who is asking this question? To whom is she addressing this point? I truly cannot fathom.
Can't stand to see it at gay pride either. Put your dicks away, please.
I don't think that they do that. They don't do it at gay pride. It's no, like strap-ons. Sometimes people will attach a suction cup dildo to their clothes or part of their body, you know? At least she didn't bring up vagina slime again. True. I don't think that anybody brings their, I don't think that that's a true thing. And yeah, it's playing into the groomer rhetoric. I know, why would you bring this up right now? This is a terrible time for this. Excuse me, I can get pride discourse alert. True.
Critique this Instagram post written by the woke feminists, writers over at Feminist on their Instagram account. This is just horrendous in my opinion. It says, if seeing trans bodies makes you uncomfortable, then you are the problem. So now this post was in reference to women that were
I cannot wait to see where this is gonna go.
college-age swimmers at Penn State, I think it was, being uncomfortable around their teammate, Leah Thomas, who I've covered in videos before, who is transgender. And
her team was fully supportive of her, by the way. So if you're going to cite anyone's discomfort, you could like cite, maybe her opposition's discomfort maybe, but Leah Thomas's team were all on her side and supportive.
And was apparently walking around with her junk hanging out. Teammates say that they're uncomfortable changing in locker rooms with trans it's University of Penn.
Hold on. No. So Arielle just claimed that Leah Thomas was changing naked, which first of all, it's a changing room. You're going to be around naked people. The idea that nudity is like exclusively like sex discriminatory, like that you need to maintain separation between the sexes is like fairly new and puritanical. Also, trans women's bodies are different than cis men's bodies. But anyway, what I wanted to know was what the actual...
Who is transgender and was apparently walking around with her junk hanging out. Teammates say...
Multiple swimmers have raised it multiple times. We were basically told that we could not ostracize Leah by not having her in the locker room, and there's nothing we can do about it except that we basically have to roll over and accept it. This doesn't say anything about Leah being naked. They're just saying, it just says team. This is a quote, like from the New York Post, I guess, saying teammates say that they are uncomfortable changing in a locker room, but it doesn't say that she was getting naked. Like, I don't know about you all, but like when I was a trans teenager, I would go into the fucking bathroom stall to change. So really what I think is actually being referred to here is a discomfort with a trans woman seeing them naked or seeing them in a state of undress to some degree. Like, I cannot imagine what else it is, because it's really vague. It's really upsetting because Leah just doesn't seem to care. We just are supposed to accept being uncomfortable. It's not saying anything about her like hanging dong in the locker room. People just have this like really fucked up conceptualization of what being trans is like. Like, it is one of the most deeply mortifying experiences to be trans in a fucking changing room. But these people think that it's a sexual thrill, and that's why it's a problem.
Say that they're uncomfortable changing in locker rooms with trans it's University of Pennsylvania, not Penn State. Swimmer Leah Thomas. Multiple swimmers have raised it multiple different times, but we were basically told that we could not ostracize Leah by not having her in the locker room. There's nothing we can do about it, and that we basically have to roll over and accept it. We cannot use our own locker room. She added, "It's really upsetting because Leah doesn't seem to care about how it makes others feel. The 35 of us are just supposed to accept being uncomfortable in our own space and locker room."
Oh, it's also worth pointing out that she's speaking on behalf, like this one swimmer who's being quoted is speaking on behalf of all of the other 35 team members. Just presuming that all of the other, it's the same shit that J.K. Rowling had pulled about like, oh, all the other people agree with me. Even if they're not saying so, a lot of people agree with me, but they just know that they'll get a lot of backlash, so they're afraid to say anything. But they agree with me, actually. Don't worry about it. They totally agree with me.
Room for like the feelings of one, meaning the feelings of one person. The school was focused on making sure Leah was okay and doing everything they possibly could for her, that they didn't even think about the rest of us. Here's my hot take, although it's not going to be a hot take for most people that are watching. If you are disregarding women's boundaries, right? Biological women's boundaries.
Okay, yeah, because again, biological women and their boundaries are the only thing that matter in the world. Their feelings, it's not their boundaries about like being touched. It's like, this is the same kind of argument that like I just had an intense flashback to the Doe versus RGR debate, because Doe is like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, you don't consent to see things in public. Like, it's not hurting anyone's boundaries for you to dress sexy in public. Like, even if you're dressing with the intent of turning someone on so that they'll come over and hit on you, like, that's not hurting anyone's boundaries, because you don't consent to things that you see in public. or rather, like, you kind of just have, like, there's a default consent that, like, you're going to see some things that might upset you. Like, cursing really upsets some people, like cussing, and like, it may be polite in some situations to not curse. Like, if you're around a bunch of children, maybe it might be nice for you to not curse. But also, if you don't like that I'm cursing, we're in a public place. Take your fucking child home. Like, put some like noise canceling headphones on them, because this is the real world. And unfortunately, there is no ability to like control people's actions in public to that extent. It's unreasonable to expect that.
Telling them that it doesn't matter, that they are the problem, that is not feminism. Like, we've gotten to the point.
Yeah, but like, assuming that someone's not like literally like putting their genitals in your face or like touching you without your permission, like, it literally is your problem if you're uncomfortable around trans people. You know, the part that she's about how she's swinging dong is like completely fabricated. That is completely fabricated, and frankly, like, kind of libelous in my opinion, like slanderous. Which, yeah, slander is spoken. Thank you, J.K. Simmons, the only good J.K. on the planet. I'm gonna be really upset when he dies, actually.
Point where it's now transphobic to be uncomfortable around someone that's male, that's literally just fine showing off their male genitals.
Again, absolutely no proof of that bullshit claim.
To people in a female locker room. Like, you are a biological male. In my opinion, you should be treating this space as an intimate female space and
absurd.
Act accordingly. But no, of course you wouldn't, because you don't know what being raised and being treated as a woman your whole life is like. The feminist.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so upsetting. Like, literally just like the presumption that trans women are just like barreling in, like swinging their dongs around, like disregarding the idea that like it's an intimate space. Yeah, in case anyone forgot, Zephyr really hates this bitch. Oh my God. It's fun sometimes. It's just like, it's truly astounding to me that the critical, the pivotal point of her argument, the pivotal thing that makes this inappropriate is a lie. An outright lie.
Instagram account then responded to these quotes by University of Pennsylvania swimmers and said, "Let's break this down. Cis people will never be the victims of transphobia. The women's locker room belongs to all women, not just cis women." Okay, yeah, that's true, but so people born male are 99.9% of the time perpetrators, right? Of trans women.
What?
Women hate crimes, of biological women sex crimes.
Hold on.
Or people born male are 99.9% of the time perpetrators, right? Of trans women hate crimes, of biological women sex crimes, or sexist crimes, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, well, trans women need a space to feel safe. So do biological women.
Oh my God. It's the conflation. She's like, well, some women might feel like a trans woman is a man, so she can't be in the female spaces. Like, oh my God, are you for real? Like, again, like, where do trans women go? Do you think trans women, even pre-transition, feel comfortable getting undressed in the men's changing rooms? Do you think that they're not, like, going into the fucking bathroom stall to change? And like not dealing with like the discomfort of being in a space where their bodies are like, do you realize that like a trans woman's body is under so much more scrutiny, and like she and her body are in so much more danger in a room full of cis women getting changed than any of those cis women are around that one woman? Oh my God.
And to the all women comment, my question for them is, how do you define all women? If it's simply an identity, anybody can identify that way and take advantage of that space. We've already seen this happen again, once again, putting trans women, actual trans women, and biological women at risk. I'm just saying.
I don't actually know that that's true. I don't actually know that that's true, that there have been any issues with someone saying, oh, I am a woman, and then going into the women's room and like causing problems. She just says, we've seen this happen before. It's like, well, you know what? That would have been a great opportunity, Arielle, for some cross promotion of some of your older content. If you had made a video about it, that would have been a great opportunity. If there was actually any fucking evidence of it happening, for you to say, by the way, it has happened before. Explicitly, I made a video about it. Check out this video in the cards above. Like, but it hasn't happened one single fucking time. At least not one that you can produce, and you're the one making the claim, so it's up to you to produce it.
Stop making biological women the issue here when the actual problem is males. Here's what my friend Sarah had to say.
Okay, why don't you stop making trans women the problem? Why don't you stop trying to pretend like trans women are the problem? If men are such a big deal, why don't you focus on what they're actually doing? How about like the curtailing of abortion rights right now? Not even a concern though, right?
Say about all of this.
As trans women, we need to understand that when we are allowed access to female spaces such as locker rooms, we are guests and there are restrictions.
No, are you fucking kidding me? You're not a guest in the women's locker room. What? This is like such a self-hating mentality. Like, we are guests. We are permitted to be here. They could absolutely like rip our hair out and kick us to the curb and force us to be under the gaze of men in the men's room, but they allow us to use these facilities, and therefore we have to be extra good and kind and respectful. Like, what a fucking spineless piece of shit this person is.
Walking around with your male parts out makes women uncomfortable.
Again, no evidence of that claim. Like, none of the quotes from the girls even said anything about her being naked. They didn't say anything about her being naked or her changing in there. They were just, we don't want her around while we are changing.
Don't do it. Plus, most trans women that I know would not feel comfortable doing that because we have gender dysphoria.
Yeah, congratulations. She didn't do it. There is no evidence that she did that either.
And trust me, I understand how using a male locker room would make you feel. I went to a Korean spa one time, much like the Wee Spa in California, where people would generally walk around naked. Though in this spa, they separate locker rooms based off of genitals. So I tried to use the men's locker room. I had a panic attack. But I don't blame the spa. That is their right as an organization to make those rules. But also because of this...
No, it's actually not their right if it's discriminatory. I mean, I don't actually know if it's discriminatory in Korea, but like, it's still transphobic, and saying like, I mean, basically like, this person is the kind of person who would be like, well, the queen has a right to put all of these dissenters who were just talking about the circumstances of their plight into prison and torture them. Like, it's technically her right. I think of that because there's a line in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, technically the queen has a right to conscript her citizens. Like, dude, I fucking hate the concept of rights. Like, you've just made me hate the concept of rights now.
Experience, I understand how women might feel to have a...
I understand how women might feel. Do you notice I do this by accident sometimes, but I am really like trying to be mindful of it, that like how women might feel as opposed to how cis women might feel. Just an interesting like framing of like woman inherently means cis woman.
Male presenting person in their space. I mean,
also Leah Thomas is not male presenting. Fuck you. God, I hate this person.
On the other hand, I've been using the women's locker room at the gym for over a year now. If I'm going to change my bottoms, I'm going to use the private suite that they have. I have found women are generally more welcoming. They will welcome you in if you are respectful. However, if you are a self-righteous asshole that has no respect for the space that you're in, of course women are going to perceive you as a threat. Think of it like a dick pic in your DMs. No one like...
Okay, so again, don't be a dick on my behalf, Ela Devine. Yeah, there's just no evidence. Like, all of these people are just running along with a narrative that has been constructed for them. And they it, like, the reason that they are not interested in pursuing evidence is because it reinforces their worldview. Like, Arielle is not interested in pursuing, she's not interested in reading any deeper. Like, oh, what article did these quotes come from? Are there any further details? Are there any quotations that describe what Leah was actually doing that prompted their discomfort? Because in the quotes that we saw, it was literally just her presence, and the assumption that she's doing a bunch of creepy shit is something that they're just making up.
Likes to receive them. It is completely a male thing to do, and it makes women uncomfortable. Then multiply that by 1,000 when a woman is in person with an unexpected penis in front of her. Women have the right to feel safe in their locker rooms, period. And I have no issue using a third space if that is what a business decides it has to do to make women feel.
I don't mind being separate but equaled if it makes the fifis of cis women all better. What a fucking spineless piece of shit.
Safe, and it's not transphobic for them to make that decision.
Yeah, no, it super is. It's not racist for them to require different, thank you, Eli Devine. It's not racist for them to require different bathrooms and fucking drinking fountains for black people. It's the prerogative of the business. It's their right, actually. It's their right to have separate water fountains for the blacks. Are you serious? Like, not gonna be a dick, just want to point out the fact that she's using the same arguments against trans women that white women would use against black women. Oh, and the same arguments that are used against lesbians. Hey Arielle, I have a secret for you. You're actually older than me, so it's weird that you don't know this. But actually, only about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, it was extremely common for the argument to be made that you, Arielle Scarcella, should not be in a women's bathroom or changing room because you are a pervert and a degenerate, and how could any woman be comfortable with you lusting after them, gazing after them? How could women feel comfortable being nude in a changing room with a lesbian like you? I almost slurred, and I decided at the last minute not to. Absolutely fucking stupid.
Gender issues are incredibly sometimes difficult to talk about. We can open up the conversation and figure out what is most fair in each situation. Also, this is random, but please stop saying that gender has something to do with race. Gender has nothing to do with race. Sometimes...
Oh my god. Tell me you've never, ever, ever talked to a black trans person without telling me you've never, ever, ever talked to a black trans person. All right, all right, all right, all right.
Things are just not intersectional at all. Like, not everything is intersectional. Can we stop that, please? Take a look at this hot mess of a TikTok.
Everything I say about gender is influenced by my whiteness, which is obvious, but there's an interesting second part to this. The rejections of gender and gender roles that I create and embody will still come from my whiteness, those acceptable to my constructions of self as a white person. I will likely uphold and encourage white beauty standards and see and more immediately accept other white rejections of gender.
Okay, number one, at this
I mean, that all makes perfect sense. Made perfect sense to me.
point, the reason that a lot of people uphold white beauty standards is because if we even braid our hair these days, we're told that we're culturally appropriating black culture.
No, that's not what that means, you dumb piece of garbage. He means more like, whatever. It's more like, oh my God, what is her name? Zoe Saldana. Like, she gets a lot of parts as a black woman because she has white features. Like, her nose is really narrow. Her lips are very small. Like, she has white features, which is why she gets more, like, a lot of roles. She's lighter skinned. Colorism also isn't a factor in that. Like, what are you talking about? She doesn't understand what white beauty standards is. I think that's what the critical point that she's not understanding is. She's not talking about like we're not talking about like hair is part of it, but like, oh my God, her racism, like there's so much that I can't even, you can't wear box braids as a white person because it'll literally rip your hair out from the root. But braids, in a more general sense, are very, very much white culture. Oh my god, she's already proved that she's racist. Kari, not Kari, I think is his name, on YouTube and Twitter and everything, has a video detailing Arielle Scarcella's racism. Kari is a really cool dude. Anyway, this is almost over.
Black people. So you kind of put that on yourself. You just can't win with these people, can you? They will never let you just be. Everything has to have a much deeper issue or a deeper meaning. Nothing can just be surface. I mean, I just can't.
Like, literally nothing is just surface. Like, very few things are just surface when it comes to race and gender.
Like braiding my hair. Sometimes, sis, ain't that deep.
Essentially, even the most critical analysis of gender I have will still be white, and white gender rejection can and does uphold whiteness and white supremacy. Queer appropriation of African American vernacular English is one example of this, as is mainstream exclusion of fashion excellence in black representations of masculinity, while celebrating white men for having basic hygiene as if they're revolutionaries. Of course, that's not to say we can't attempt to take in other viewpoints, but it's still going to be a fundamentally white perspective. Even this is a white perspective. It's literally the only one I can give you. So if you want to learn how other people construct and deconstruct gender, you need to learn it from someone who doesn't look like me.
Agreed. Please don't learn anything from this person, please. Don't.
I have this issue with people who are just unnecessarily bitchy, where I'm just like, why? Like this person did not do anything to earn your ire. This person did not do anything to you. Why are you being such a huge cunt? Anyway, that was the one video from Arielle that we voted on covering. As usual, I just feel like Arielle is inserting herself in conversations that she doesn't know very much about. And it's interesting too, like, her videos don't seem to have a central thesis. Like, her videos, generally just kind of seem to be like some word vomit of vaguely associated concepts that she can then like post a video about. So you have like oh gosh, I got distracted. I was answering a question in chat. She just doesn't know anything about queer people, and she throws together these videos. So we started out this video. This one started out with trans men show their female breasts on TikTok, which then was like, if you're uncomfortable, like, she didn't really resolve a point about that. She like segued with like, oh, you shouldn't be uncomfortable about trans people's bodies. If you're uncomfortable about trans people's bodies, that's a you problem. And then like she started talking about like flopping your genitals around, which there was no evidence happened. We had video evidence of these trans men showing their chests, but so she really doesn't like finish saying much about that, except for like, I don't really think this is a problem. However, swinging your dong around is an issue. Here's a situation where I can't even prove that that happened, and none of the people I'm quoting even actually said that that happened. And then going on to talk about race and gender and like how being white can influence your perspective on gender, which is like just super obvious. Like, her videos about trans people are really disjointed and quite lacking in substance, really. It's really just like clickbait farming. She's just kind of like trying to desperately keep her career going. This video actually got a decent number of views, I think, compared to some of her other stuff. I've seen like the last video, I mean, her channel does like okay, I guess. She got like 50,000 views on that video. It's interesting though, because she said something about how she thinks fat shaming is not good, but then her very next video is called Fat Positive TikTok is Back, Lord Help Us. So she's gonna probably, definitely not engage in any fat phobia or anything like that. Yeah. Ugh. She just hate farms. True. She doesn't know what phenotypes are. Well, hi, buddy. Hey, sweetheart. How you doing? Arielle is such a frustrating human being. Just a very frustrating person. Drink a little water. Take a little break from the extremely upsetting stupidity. I feel like you need Arielle-based insurance. This bitch takes years off of your life. True. I pity her girlfriend or wife if she has one. Yeah, I don't know. She seems like she'd be pretty insufferable to be around. I might have to watch later what she says about Cat Black, because I'm just really curious. I'm like, what are you doing? Well, like, honestly, what was she talking about Cat Black for? Do you have chapters in this video? Her videos don't have chapters. Finally responding to my biggest hater after 6 years. I wonder if she, like, did this video just to talk about Cat Black. Like, yeah, she really recently put up a video called Lesbian Destroys Leftist Trans Woman's Ideology, and there's a picture of Cat Black in the top of it. It's a 15-minute video, though. And she says, finally responding to my biggest hater after 6 years. She just, like, randomly decided to do this because Cat Black was kind of, like, in the news. Oh, I see what happened. Cat Black posted about Arielle about 3 months ago. She has a video called Arielle Scarcella's new content is interesting. So, yeah. So I'm seeing that they're both kind of like talking about each other now. So I get it might require you to read or to watch the original Arielle Scarcella content from Cat Black in order to know. Hello, Kimberwolf. Welcome. Cat's video is a fun watch. Okay. So far, I don't think we've done content where we react to other people reacting to stuff. It's kind of one of those things that you don't necessarily want to get into. Meta, true. Subscribe to Arielle's OnlyFans to see her wearing a MAGA hat and nothing else. True. Oh, goodness. Oh, hello, Emma. Welcome. I don't see you around as often anymore. It is good to see you around. Hey, no worries, Kimber. We're glad to have you here hanging out with us. Wouldn't it be amazing if anyone's job could be as easy as Arielle's? You're just like, I'm going to make up some bullshit about trans people and lie about them and make them seem super unreasonable and put it on YouTube and make like a living out of it, you know? Like make a decent amount of money off of it. How easy would that be? AKA the Steven Crowder. If I make stuff up, it'll have better world building. Honestly, like my partner and I have talked about it in the past. It's like, it's really like almost a shame that we have morals and like we're people who care about people, because if we didn't have morals, we could just be like televangelists and scam people all the time and like make shit up and make a fuck ton of money doing it. I'm starting to wonder if maybe like my beliefs about how we implement change have to do with my being an atheist. Just like Mersh saying, if one believes in God, she will pay for lying and promoting hate like that one day. My brain responds to that with, as much as we think that the later seasons of Game of Thrones were pretty cringe, when Littlefinger tells Sansa, there's no justice in the world but what justice we make, that's kind of how I feel. I don't think that there's any value in saying like, oh, you'll get your comeuppance in the afterlife, or oh, history will show who was on the right side. Yeah, Zephyr's already in a cult, the trans cult. True. But no, instead, I have to be out here screaming about how you need to have fucking scientific proof for your claims, and or at least like some amount of evidence if you're going to accuse someone of something. Like basically what I want you to understand about that video is that she just like accused Leah Thomas of sexual harassment. Like that's what that video is. It's not attacking Leah for being an athlete. It's not attacking her for winning. It's a lie about her sexually harassing her teammates. True, Rain Raven. Like, how can I make a living? How can I exploit bigots and right-wingers? Do I need to start an OnlyFans? And, like, are there any chasers for trans men, though? That's the thing, though, is, like, the only way is to get chasers to give me money. And then I drop the DMs. So I got their money and I destroy their reputation, you know? I've already been talking about feet pics, you know? I don't know what it would take to actually motivate me to do it. Does it count as being a chaser if you're T for T? Well, only if I can exploit you monetarily. Like, even if you are a chaser, if you don't have any money, that's not very useful to me. The loneliness of the pandemic made me start to understand the appeal of cultish bullshit. I don't know, like, I try to be critical of what's happening, like, to me, mentally. I try to be aware and critical. If we look at, like, I don't know, like, I have noticed while watching content, like, I'll watch PhilosophyTube content, and she has a video called Violence and Protest, where she raises the issue of, is it right that we have waited such a long time to violently dismantle the infrastructure that's killing our planet? And I am just, like, suddenly in support of environmental defense all of a sudden. And I'm aware that that is a process by which I am being actively radicalized. I'm aware that there are certain types of people that I don't want to listen to, that I think have absolutely no worthy arguments on a subject. Like, I'm aware of my biases, and I'm aware when I'm being, like, I'm aware when my mind is being changed in some kind of way, you know? And it just seems strange to me to be, like, uncritically caught up in a situation where you're like believing a bunch of lies about people, you know, where like your belief in your ideology is so critically important that you are unwilling to look at evidence that it is contradicting your belief system, like that evidence is suspect and false. Like, it is wild how similar it is arguing with fucking Christians and arguing with TERFs, where you say like, here's evidence, and they say that evidence is like I can dismiss it because of this reason. And it's like Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, it's a cultish, brainwashed belief. Like, they're so committed, their lives are built around these lies that the very core of who they are would crumble if they were to accept the evidence to the contrary. It would be good to set up a transhumanist church and start suing the fundies for violating religious beliefs. The thing is that this Church of Satan have already tried that, and they don't generally succeed. Like, they'll sue for abortion rights or something, and they don't generally succeed. Now, what I think would be successful is if Jewish people sued for abortion rights, for example. Like, I don't think that you could make a new religion and expect it to be protected by the court. Like, I'm not saying that that's correct. Like, I think that's an unequal application of the law. Just that one religion being older means it's more, like, viable or anything. Like, it's just true that a Jewish person who says, in the Torah, it says that you can't force a woman to give birth if it might kill her, because in Jewish law, like, the woman's life is more important. That might be the way to do it, but you can't just like start a new religion and expect it to work. Go get your gun. I don't know if Buddhists could advocate for abortion rights. I don't know what they believe about abortion, and if there are enough of them. Like, you could, like, what are the demographics is what you'd have to look at. Like, there are a lot of Christians here. There are more Jews than there are Buddhists in America, I would guess. So Jewish people as a group would have more power, like more collective power. But even then, you've got fucking Orthodox Jews that are going to be ruining everything. Just ruining everything. I know. Yeah, that evidence is fake news. Oh my god, this is really funny. You all know that that guy who kind of got like Twitter famous for a brief moment for being like interviewed on the street. The guy was like interviewing him like, would you suck a dick for a certain amount of money? And the guy was like, I don't know, is she cute? Like, I wouldn't suck a dude's dick, but I would suck a trans girl's dick. And the guy was like, would you really? And he was like, I already have. And then he blew up and got like kind of semi-famous on trans Twitter. You know what I'm talking about? You know that guy? Oh my god, my back hurts. Yeah, I like him. But he just posted a tweet like 2 hours ago that says, just had a trans girl say she wouldn't fuck me because I fuck other trans girls. Is that a thing? I'm like, oh, she just clocked you as a chaser. Unfortunate. I'm late, but as a trans guy who doesn't bind, I would really appreciate more body acceptance around having moobs, normalized sports bras. Rad Hot Pants, thank you. Welcome to the website. But yes, agreed. I'm definitely, like, I'm just at that point where, like, if I'm in boy mode, I'm probably going to be wearing a sports bra. Or not wearing a bra, depending on what I can get away with and how I feel on that day. You know, like, I'm just like, you're just going to have to tolerate. Not only are there, like, butch lesbians who wear sports bras and have tits, obviously, like, I am not going to bind anymore. And I'm not getting top surgery. So guess what? We're just going to have to get used to it. Yeah, he pushed it a little too far, Fushi. Yeah. But I just thought that was funny. I just opened up Twitter to be like, oh, is there anything else that we could talk about for this last little 40 minutes or so that we're going to be having the video on? Dee-doo. Dee-dee-doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo. Dee-doo. Dee-dee-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Dee-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Gayfesh, if you're still here, your cat's really fucking cute, dude. Normalize fat cis men wearing sports bras. That's not really what I meant. More just understand that trans men who have breasts are gonna wear bras to manage their bodies. But I guess if cis men had enough breast material to make it worth it, then sure. Could work. Could do. Oops, all chasers. True. A boop. Hello. Will you come here? Hello? Are you baby? I have baby. I feel like fat cis men would feel kind of dysphoric about wearing sports bra. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, Lucy. He and baby. Bite him. Yes, him baby. He's being so sweet. I know everybody wants me to bite him. Oh my god, dude. He's really he's really not been that unhealthy for the last couple weeks, honestly. His breathing has been better since a few days ago at least. Eat the cat. Everybody wants me to eat him. Yeah, his breathing rate has kind of come down a little bit. I think I might call tomorrow and just double check and be confirmed if his breathing is down to a lower rate, is it fine, because on Wednesday it will have been 2 weeks since he got the antibiotic. So yes. Oh baby, no eat cat, only cuddle. He seems to know that when the lights are on, that me picking him up is going to be annoying, because he won't jump up sometimes when I ask him to jump up in my lap while we're on stream. He knows. Pretend eat cat. He's 12. He just turned 12 this month. Oh, what a baby. Are you baby? Oh, Lucy. Sometimes you gotta put them down while they're still happy. Yeah, Gene the Bean, it's not too old, except his litter mate died last year, so it's clearly not too old for there to be issues, and he's diabetic, so there are increased issues for him that aren't an issue. Kimber Wolf had a comment earlier that I didn't respond to. Lolita fashion is not pedo shit. If my 12-year-old sister wants a Lolita dress, she cannot have it because of pedophiles. To be totally clear. Gibnoms. I know, it's so nice to headbutt him. He's so good. Welcome, Bird Cultist. Nice to see you in the chat for the first time live. Excellent. The cat I'm taking care of is sitting artistically on the cat tree with my green 5-pound weights. Very nice. They don't really love... I said this is one of their cat pedestals, and he's not... They don't want to sit there for the most part. All the lurking pedos be like, Zephyr has a 12-year-old sister. I don't anymore. Oh yeah, definitely, Forrest. Hello, it's me. I'm here for the first time ever as well. Exactly. Exactly, Emily. Why sit on cat pedestal when can sit on lap? Exactly. I was kind of thinking maybe I'll get the other one. Hey, Mitter. Hey, Mitter. Pretty sure he's going deaf. I'm gonna see if I can get the other one. Ugh. This one doesn't like this. He does not like being picked up in this manner. He is upset with me doing this to him. He's so good, but he does not like me. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Come here. But you are so nice. You are so sweet. Why do you wish to leave? Why? He flee. He run away. I just really wish we didn't have to police kids' self-expression because of creepy adults. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's, like, right or anything, but that is the situation, you know? Like, that was how my Gaia Online character was dressed, right? I mean, well, my wish list avatar was, in any case, kind of dressed in a Lolita-ish way. I did not know that that's what it was, and I didn't try to dress that way. Yeah, I did Gaia Online back in the day. I like how I am surrounded by kitties, but still thrilled by them in person and on camera. True. Yeah, he did not want to cuddle now. Oh gosh. Yeah. I don't unfortunately think I know who Boxy is, so cannot confirm. Oh, Gene the Bean asked me how I like my new mic. It's pretty great. One of my favorite things about it is, sometimes if we're ever feeling the need for a little bit of spice, a little bit of intrigue in our streams, we have these wonderful new features. Incredible. No, I don't know who Boxy is. Did I scare you with the radio voice? I'm sorry. If I scare you with the radio voice, then
this is definitely gonna do it for you. I love this one. I don't love that one. It's not my favorite.
I can also
Go this direction with it. I don't really know what that sounds like as much because I didn't try that one, but it's fine. I like being able to change things.
I have fun. Robo voice? Oh, that was robot. Was that robot? I did robot. I meant to do megaphone. Is this one the right one? Oh wait, no. I think it's this one. Is this one the radio voice? Okay, this one's the radio voice. Okay, I haven't, all my presets are not labeled. That really high one, I couldn't even understand you. Chat to Luxander over, true. I like the dumb demon daddy Lux voice. Are you just referring to
This one? Are you referring to this one with the pitch down? This one is the one that you like? I don't like this one.
I'm also like not even sure what the reverb sounds like because I haven't listened to that one much yet, but that's a thing. Reverb is different from echo. Echo is like this. Echo, 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 echo. That's Luxander on too much tea, yeah. If only voice gender perception were just pitch, sad. Well, it's interesting, like, what if I
Lowered the pitch a little bit and I turned the gender dial down to male a little bit. Like, I don't know what that sounds like. I literally have no ability to tell what that sounds like. So, I'll just put it back to normal now.
Anyway, no, I have a lot of fun with my new microphone. Whole stream like this? True. Yeah, no. I think I'm gonna edit the Arielle part out of this video, so I am fucking behind on editing, very severely behind on editing, TBH. I literally was like, I can't afford to sit down and edit today because my neck, like, I'm just gonna spend a pretty short amount of time sitting here compared to the rest of the day. Old time radio. Yes, and here we have the old time radio, I think. That last voice was kind of hot. What if I
Do this, and then also do a little bit of this. What does this sound like? Does this sound like a girl voice? Do you have girl voice? The delay is between me and you is a little bit higher than usual today, I think. It's alien. It's chipmunk. Okay. It's chipmunk. Helium Lux. Okay. Alright, let's bring it back down.
Cool. That's why I don't have a channel or anything. Editing seems too complicated to learn. It's not complicated, it's just fucking time-consuming and kind of annoying. Like one of the droids in Star Wars that has boobs. There's just all kinds of different stuff that I can do on here. I'm looking at the So this is old-timey radio, right? Old-timey radio. What the fuck is Cora doing this episode? Ruining the show. Sounds like that's just about normal. And then what about this one is called On the Phone? Hello, can you hear me? Hello? 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 I'm gonna put it back on radio because that's the setting I actually like. Anywho. Hello, Heoteo. I just noticed your name. What time is it for y'all right now? For me right now, it is 8:30, and I'm going to be getting out of here in about 20 minutes. Yeah. back on the home front. Women are doing their part. Yes, your favorite gal or Mary Sue is contributing to the war effort every day. I really have to listen to that later because I bet that's fucking hilarious. I have the editing know-how to be able to do it freelance. I just never considered it because it's annoying and takes forever. I've been thinking about reaching out to some other editor. I know Tempest, who edits for Vosh a bit, and like Cherry edits for Zan, and I was thinking about just reaching out and seeing what their prices were to get an idea. But I also really don't think my channel would be doing better if I were uploading consistently. I can't afford to have someone else do it consistently. Like, I have to just be able to do it consistently. Oh, my favorite gal or Mary Sue. True. My coworker's looking at me like, why the fuck you smiling? True. Oh, the on the phone one has less distortion. It's a little bit thinner. I see. Boob droid. True. But yeah, so there's a lot of different fun stuff. There are multiple different like things that I can set it at, and I have like multiple presets that I could switch back and forth between. So I can go in and like perfect the robot voice, have it actually sound like the way that I want it to. All that kind of jazz. And all that jazz. Pop, squish, Cicero, Lipschitz. I feel like I always miss one. Pop, squish, Cicero. There's one right there in the middle that I always miss. Pop, squish, There's always one that I miss. What is it? It is always fun to hang out. Yes, I do enjoy streams. Lipschitz is the one at the end. There's like 6 Pop, Squish, Cicero, Lipschitz. There's 5. Pop 6. It's 6. Pop 6, Squish, Cicero, Lipschitz. Okay, I was missing one. Thank you, Razcal. That was Chicago. We were doing Chicago, which I watched for the first time in a while last year, and it was really good. He fell on her knife. He fell on her knife 6 times. True. How does one plan to have surgeries when they have to always do school and work, which are both physically active and won't allow recovery? True. It is a quandary. He had it coming. He had it coming. He had it coming all along. I enjoy musicals. I should just watch Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, apparently. It's a musical show, right? Mm-hmm. It's quite a nice musical. I gotta get some water. Holy shit. I'm sorry, hold on. If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it, I bet you would have done the same. We love Queen Latifah. Some men just can't hold their arsenic. True. Yeah, I've heard Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is good. It's good borderline representation, I've heard, as a borderline person. Sophie from Mars, she has a great video. They have a great video about borderline representation. I need to fucking work on my script about BoJack Horseman. God. Oh, that video is going to take forever. But I now have a video essay. Listen, I did not have a video essay quality microphone before, and now I can do video essays. Isn't that incredible? Now I can do voiceover. Do you want a sample? Do you guys... oh gosh, do you all want me to read the first like paragraph or two of my script as a little teaser? Because the video that I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the diagnostic criteria for borderline personality disorder point by point and illustrate how BoJack has borderline. Like, I see videos all the time that are like, therapist covers BoJack Horseman, he has addiction and depression, and I'm like, those are symptomatic of BPD mofo. So yes, but pitched down. I'm not going to do it pitched down, because part of the point of this is to be like, oh, did you, like, this is the quality of audio that we get for video essays now. I am probably going to edit it differently now. Like, I started writing this when I was still kind of in SJW land, and I might change some of the wording. So I'll skip the very first paragraph. I don't actually know, like, I haven't decided like what tone exactly I should take with this. If I do the tone of like those like fact channels, like, BoJack Horseman is a Netflix original series that ran from no, don't do it like that. That's terrible. But yeah, no. BoJack Horseman is a Netflix original series that ran from 2014 to 2020, spanning 6 seasons and 1 Christmas special. Our eponymous protagonist is a 50-something horse man living in a lavish hilltop home in glamorous Hollywood. Back in the 90s, BoJack was in a very famous family TV sitcom called Horsin' Around, along with a cast of 3 human children playing the horse's adopted orphan kids. I'm gonna nuke all of my puns if I go any further than that. So that's like the video essay that's gonna happen someday. I was banned from SJW land. True. But yeah, so it's going to be a typical, like, it's going to be kind of like those tier list videos that have that sort of tone. But obviously a little bit more serious. So I really, truly, this video, part of the reason why I don't work on it very as much is because it's going to do badly. No one's going to watch it. It's going to tank hard, and it's going to be one of the most intensive videos I've ever made. So, if that one ever comes out, you all are going to have to share it around and watch it in order for it to get past my subscriptions. Like, that's the way that YouTube works now, by the way. If my subscribers don't watch my video, it also doesn't push to the rest of YouTube, which is fucking stupid. It means that you can never like break out of your audience and find. Yeah, so Red Hot Pants, I was just explaining, like, because of the way that YouTube works right now, my audience is used to a person in front of a camera talking to you about trans stuff, and not like a video essay where the person is mostly not even on the screen. I don't even know if I'm gonna be on the screen for that video. I hadn't decided. So I'll watch it at least 10 times if you do it in the pitched down voice. I'll consider it. Does watching streams here count as watches on YouTube? Kinda, yeah. It kinda does. But it's not... What I'm saying is, like, if I post a video and my subscribers don't watch it, it won't get promoted. My streams on this channel become private, basically, after I finish stream, and then I upload them to a separate channel, because if I were to have them on my main channel, it would fuck up my ability to... Like, it would just fuck up my shit in the algorithm. Like, you have to be consistent with the type of content that you're making. Well, thank you, Tabaxi Bay. I appreciate it. I need to I do need to just finish working on the script. I've gotten most of it done, TBH. And when I do post it, there is a conversation I had with Jess from Trans Girl Therapist where she helped me. She basically like advised on the script. Like I was like, oh, can you help me figure out the ways in which these conversations, like in which ways do the symptoms apply? You know, are there good examples of this symptom? Oh, yeah. The site is a YouTube video embed, yes. And it does count as watching it on YouTube. Or at least it counts as a watch. It might not count as a watch on YouTube. It might count as an embed, but yes. It's going to be a good video. I think it's going to be actually a pretty good video. My BoJack one. It's like so easy to substantiate. It's so easy to substantiate all of the examples. A therapist advisor would make me want to watch it even more, TBH. So it's just, I told Jess that she could upload our conversation. So like after I upload my video essay, then she will have like our pre-recorded conversation that she can upload on her channel. And then I could be like, hey, if you want to know about the behind the scenes writing of this script and like a more in-depth conversation about borderline personality disorder between two people who have it and one of them is a therapist, yeah, it'll be good. So as long as you all are diligent in helping the content reach more people, do your homework, kids. Do your homework. Now I have to actually follow through. There's too many of you here now who I've told about it. I have to actually do it. I can't continue procrastinating. I do like Jess and Xena. I think they're pretty cool. I should hang out in their Discord more often. Okay, it is basically time. Like, I could vamp for another 15 minutes, but I'm not going to. Thank you all for hanging out with us today. We talked about some garbage that didn't matter. And now I have some incentive to work on this script. I have so much work to do. Truly, I have a lot of work to do. So this week is going to be editing and writing and writing and writing and writing, because I actually have multiple things I need to write also. So look forward to getting a bathroom song at some point, and feel free to share the content with someone and take a screenshot and post it in the Discord, and I will give you a lavish compliment. So let's get down to business. I should have sang that at the beginning. Good night.